Hello, this is an assessment of a Steinway Model O 1909 that's come in for assessment for restoration. The first thing we could say, it's quite an old style casework. There are obviously different styles of cases that Steinway's made, but this turned legs, turned lyre and fancy desk is not the most common style for that age of piano. Also, this is the oldest style logo. This is a 1904 Steinway, so similar age, and as you can see, actually the logo's been changed here. A modern logo's been put on. There's the smaller letters of the modern logo, finished and modernised really. That's very commonly done, really, because the market is for making them look like a modern piano or a new piano. And you can say the inside also, well, the inside would look similar to that originally, but it looks like a new piano now, as you can see. There's the trimming on the one that we're assessing, so there's a decision to make really. Do you want it modernised, or do you want the piano to remain like the original? I favour the original. The black bright finish works on this original style as well. There's the black bright finish, and this is original style legs on this Steinway upright. And this Steinway Grand that we've got in stock, as you can see, it has square tapered legs and also a square pillar. So back to the one we're assessing, you see there's the turned legs and the turned pillar there, column pillars. So I meant column pedal lyre unit. It's called lyre unit because it's very often, the old ones were in the shape of a lyre, but of course now they're not in the shape of a lyre. On the front part of the top lid, you've also got the name of the original supplier. Now, obviously, if it's refinished, it won't look right trying to keep that, so that'll probably have to be lost. This was originally ebonized. It's a technique that they used when they had a very deep kind of black finish and with French polish on the top. But nowadays, we favour doing the modern finish. It never quite looks as nice as the modern finish, this, I don't think, and the French polish, you can always show imperfections on it, whereas the modern finish, the polyester always looks perfect. It will certainly add to the value of it for resale as well, if you ever wanted to resell the piano, to change this logo to the modern one. There's the modern logo again, just like a new Steinway. Again, this style of desk is very often changed for just a plain desk, like on a modern piano. See, there's a Steinway with a typical modern Steinway desk. The old style music desks do work as well with polyester. There's a Bechstein, we've got an old style music desk on that. So it's obviously an important decision to make. I don't really favour one or the other. I suppose I favour keeping it like it is, just to preserve the traditional style that it is. But I have to confess that if we redo a piano very often, if it's in a mess on the case, then we'll redo the whole thing, and we'll, rather than try and replace this kind of, keep this kind of desk, we'll often replace it with a modern one. Having said that, the piano is really handsome as it is. Still talking about the case, another thing we do is to put an extra prop stick on, as I'll show you in a second. This is the original prop stick. And here's the restored Steinway we have in stock. And I don't know if you can see this prop stick here. This is a short prop stick. I'll show you what that looks like. So adding this short prop stick allows you to have the lid at another angle, and that's very popular. Looking inside this piano, as you see, it says ebonized. That's the colour, as it were. That's the sort of deep black finish that you have. And very often we'd put an O there, which is like a modern Steinway. We wouldn't say ebonized, it would have an O there instead. And then looking at the inside of the piano, we can see that the soundboard doesn't look terribly bad. But when we take the strings off and dry out the piano, we probably will find that it opens up slightly. We could actually preserve this badge. That's unusual. Normally there are lines showing where the planks meet. You get lines which are like called cracks. They don't really affect the tone of the piano that much. It's a cosmetic thing. But here we don't see any cracks at all, which is very unusual. See, on this Steinway in stock, those lighter lines are where the cracks have been filled, and then the whole lot's been matched so that it looks authentic. Same on this Bechstein in stock. I don't know if you can see down here, I just pointed out under there, there's a lighter area. That's where there was a slight crack, and around the other side too, we'll find the same thing. There it is. And that was shimmed, as we call it. Actually, it doesn't seem to be any other shims in this one, so obviously the soundboard was in good condition. And looking underneath the sign we're assessing, really not a sign of a crack. So as I say, when it's dried out, and we do have to dry it out because pianos normally are going into a drier environment than they were originally, and we may find something opens up a little bit, but I don't think we're going to get much problem with this one. Pedal trap mechanism's in good condition too, and I think this hole's been rebushed at some stage, so some work's been done on it. In fact, this isn't original either. A bit of veneer missing that was left with the piano here. That's obviously if it gets polyester, that's the best solution, because then the case will be absolutely perfect. And looking at the ivory keys, I forgot to mention they are ivory keys, and they're in absolutely perfect condition. They're a bit yellowed, so if we buff them on the buffing wheel, then that will bring them back to normal. It's slightly yellowing still, but it'll look much better. There's the buffing wheel that we buff the keys on, and we use buffing soap. Noisy process, as you can hear. Now, unusually, there's an agraff broken on this piano. You can see there, that's the shim that went underneath it, a metal shim, to bring it to the right height. And that's sheared off. So that does happen occasionally. It's difficult to match, that's the problem, because these come in sets, but we'll do the best we can. There's been a replacement string here, as you can see, because the string line is wrong on that one. This is a good string line here. Obviously, those strings were very good. Now, the tuning pins are very tight. It has been restrung once, and so the slightly larger tuning pins than the original ones. And we would replace the pin block, I think, if we're going to redo this, because otherwise you got up to maximum size tuning pins. Some of the bass pins are already quite large, so I think a new tuning block's the best idea. There's 2 styles of tuning block, or rest plank as it's called in the UK trade. That's a Delignit one with lots of layers on it. This is rock maple. Steinways, where you normally use rock maple, the actual original Steinway looks very similar to that. There's a lot of mechanical problems like these sticky keys here. Obviously we'll be restoring the whole action, bottom key sticking to. Now, looking at the action of the piano, these are Steinway, that's the right colour for Steinway hammers under the undercover. And they've got, I'm pretty sure they're American hammers. Got stamped with the patent on. It's not easy to read, but I'm pretty certain that's an American hammer with a date on it there. And you definitely see this only on American. I've never seen that on a German one. So these patents on the piano, typical USA. Hammer's showing a reasonable amount of wear there, and the rollers too. So there definitely would be a good idea to change those. We would normally change the shanks as well. Actually, these, yeah, a bit on the loose side. That's a decision to make, really. It's quite a lot of decisions to make. This action rail here is often split, so when you try and tighten these up, they don't tighten up properly. So that's often you have to replace that as well. There's been quite a lot of work done on the action itself. See this giveaway line here that shows that someone's been regulating it. Felts have been changed at some stage. We'll have to look into that and see how much work. I mean, normally we just restore the whole thing. Don't always replace the bottom action, depending if it needs, but certainly the top action, sorry, this lever here doesn't always need replacing, but certainly the hammer shanks and rollers we do as standard, and as I say, very often this rail. Now the front rail felts, they're pretty tight, and also the centre rail felts. So that's an assessment for restoration of a Steinway grand piano 1909, and some decisions to make cosmetically. Now, the playing condition of the piano, we could fully restore this piano, and it would certainly improve it. And I think perhaps because of the damage it's got, that might be the right option. But several decisions to make. We'll have to think about it. There are some good hammers on it, but they certainly need voicing. The action needs regulating. It doesn't really feel as it should do. So it could be either sort of going about it, what's the most important jobs to do on this piano, or could we simply fully restore it? It certainly needs repolishing, and if you repolish the whole piano and then don't do the cosmetics on the inside, it looks a bit incongruous, because the outside looks perfect and then the inside doesn't. So that's the reason for redoing it. If it was our stock piano, we'd redo the whole piano, but it's a decision to make. So mechanically, it doesn't essentially need that, but would certainly be improved. A bit echoey at the moment, because down here obviously you've got the problem with the agraff, and the dampers are therefore not working properly. Thank you very much for listening.